So I'm very happy to be here again. Good evening. Thank you all for being here. And I want to start by thanking the Center for Memories because they're doing the essential work of preserving our collective memories. I also want to thank my dear friend James Ngweze. Rebecca James. Okay. Get there. Ngweze. I want to thank James for the depth of his love for Igbo land. And I want to thank him for the breadth of his intellect. James actually persuaded me to deliver a lecture today rather than to read from Dream Count. Dream Count was published in March. And for the past few months, I've been traveling on book tour in different parts of the world. And now I am here, back home in Nigeria. And I consider this my homecoming. I was in Lagos a few days ago. I was in Abuja just 2 days ago, and now I am here in Enugu. I'm here in this beautiful city on the hill. I am here in the city of my birth. I drew my first breath about 2 kilometers away from where we are today, at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, on September 15, 1977. So although I was born in Enugu, I grew up in Nsukka, on the campus of the University of Nigeria. I am from Aba, in Njikoka, local government area of Anambra State. My mother is from Umunachi in Dunukofia, local government area of Anambra State. All are my homes. But more importantly, and I think more significantly, I consider all of Igbo land to be my home. From Enugu to Anambra, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, and the Igbo-speaking communities in Rivers, in Kogi, in Benue, in Delta. All of them are home because all of them are Igbo land. Igbo bu Igbo. Whenever I land at an airport, whether in Asaba or in Enugu or in Owerri or the wonderfully named Chinua Achebe International Airport in Umueri, the overwhelming feeling for me is one of wholeness, an internal calm, an instinctive ancestral peace. So it was for many years, until recently. I am not the only Igbo person who no longer feels this instinctive wholeness, this peace. I am not the only one who reads stories from Igbo land and turns away in horror, who sees what is happening in Igbo land today and is consumed by shock, disillusionment, and a feeling dangerously close to despair. In Igbo culture, nothing is more sacred than life. In Igbo culture, a sibling must never take the life of another sibling. That is what we mean when we call a child Nduka, Ndubisi, Ndude. The preservation of life is sacrosanct. Things Fall Apart demonstrates the central Igbo belief in the sacredness of life. Okonkwo accidentally murders a member of his community. It is truly an accident. His gun goes off during a feast. And yet, his community punishes him severely. His home is destroyed and burnt, and he's banished for years. And this was an accident. Now, imagine the severity of the punishment for murder in Igbo culture. Igbo culture abhors the taking of innocent life. And yet, today, we hear grotesquely inhumane stories of people murdered in ritual practices for money. And it is important to note that the victims of this recent upsurge of barbarism are mostly women. It is not just infuriating, but it is mentally disorienting